What J.League doesn't have, it doesn't have Cristiano Ronaldo playing paddle with its politicians.
Hey, only in Singapore.
Only in Singapore. You want to
boy.
know what a Singapore football culture is? It is Cristiano Ronaldo not playing football. But welcome to part 2 of Yahoo Footballing Weekly with me, Yahoo columnist Neil Humphreys.
And me, Yahoo editor Keong, and Lion City Styles fan, Eddy.
Hello.
Got the jersey on, Eddie? Very good.
It's
Yeah,
really
as
nice
always,
jersey,
as always,
really
yeah.
nice. I really like them.
You had a good game the other night. You were there, right? A
Oh.
blockbuster. A thriller.
It's a debatably good game.
It was a thriller for us.
Yeah, we're like, I saw like 5-2 out. Finally close, switch off the match, and then 5-4.
Yeah, we were clinging on at the end. It wasn't a good look. I mean, I wrote about it and I said, we have to be better. If you want to be a championship contender, you can't be conceding more than 1 goal a game.
Yeah,
it's and 4 goals against Balestier. That's not good.
No,
Yeah.
obviously not.
And just remind the listeners, you said you wrote about it. Where should they find your Lion City Sailors pieces?
I write this on this website called sailorfantalk.com. It's my own website. It's not for profit or anything, but we write a bunch of stuff on there, previews, match analysis and all that. So take a look. Yeah.
No one does anything in local football for profit.
Not in Singapore.
We all do it for the love of the game. We all
Yep.
do it for the love of the game. All right, which is why, as always, we thank you week on week, month on month, all through the season. Essays, theses, longer and longer comments.
Now we got regular writers
Back and
now
forth.
on our YouTube comments page. You can see the familiar names come out. Hey,
Yep.
Oh yeah, he's back again. He's writing more theses.
Many are complimentary.
Wonderful, we
Some
like
are
it.
not. That's okay.
That's
we
okay.
don't mind as
Yeah.
long as you're contributing, debating, discussing. Great stuff.
Great stuff.
Loads as always this week. And the key topic, not surprisingly, foreign talent.
Foreign talent. Yeah.
We're back again. It
Yeah.
feels like it's 2008 again. It feels like, Edmund
2001,
Goncalves is going to walk through the door, or
Yeah.
Mirko Grabovac. Or what have we got about foreign talent this week?
So last week somebody brought up the idea. No, we need foreign talent. In fact, FAS President Bernard Tan said
Correct.
we might need some foreign talents in the current squad to boost the squad.
And just to clarify, we said on our show last week that it can feel a bit of a cop-out and a very short-term
That's right.
fix.
That's
Yeah.
right. So Go who actually made the suggestion on the comments, and he said Go-Kart actually says, I hope the football purists here, which means 2 of us, football purists, do not view the injection of foreign talent into the national team as a stopgap measure or even a cop-out. National teams all over the world are casting their net wider for foreign talent, and Singapore is already a victim of losing talent via this channel. If we are at the receiving end of this trend, why not strive to benefit from it as well? So it's alluding to Malaysia. Now Malaysia are the ones with the foreign talents, and during the Mitsubishi Electric Cup, they actually did well and did well to beat us at Bukit Jalil.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, you want foreign talent. I do think it's a double-edged sword,
Yep.
and you never know what. Even if you scouted that foreign talent for a long time and then you bring him in, he agrees to come in. How he performs on an international stage is still a mystery. You never know because he's probably never played for another international team before. So you are not sure. Secondly, I feel that putting a foreign talent in this current Lions team, which is admittedly not very good, it doesn't help. I think foreign talents are good as that final piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
Final piece of the puzzle saying that, okay, this team is good enough to maybe win the Suzuki Cup, but lacks something here and there. And the foreign talents fill it in.
Like an Eric Cantona to go with the class of 92.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see the times when we won the Suzuki Cup, 2004 to 2007 and 2012, the team itself is already quite strong. Shahril Ishak, Khairul Amri, already a very strong regional team. And then you add in Durick, you add in Daniel Bennett,
Yep.
and then that team goes to the next level and beats Thailand for the trophies. So that should be what the foreign talents do. I don't think it's for a developing team, a rebuilding team to put in foreign talents. I think it's a bit too early.
I actually think that when people refer to foreign talents, there are people. There's a spectrum of what they mean by I want foreign talents back.
Yep.
There's what Han Keong is referring to, where people scour the world, ends of the earth, let's find some promising Argentines and all that, give them a few years in the league, and then And then there's also the people, I think like me and a lot of local league fans who just feel that there are some foreigners in the league already, clearly look like they're enjoying their life and maybe have already expressed their intention to play for Singapore, much like Song Hee-yong.
Song Hee-yong, yeah.
And now, I mean, everyone's clamoring for Kyoga Nakamura, not just because he's a good player. I think people like the positive vibes. You know, he has a vlog and he's always talking about how he loves Singapore food and how he loves the culture here. He looks like he's having a great time with Tampines fans as well. So I think these are what I call the no-brainers, the low-hanging fruit that the government should try to facilitate. These people who have stayed here for more than 5 years already, still young. It's not like Kyoga is like 35 or something. No, I think I can't remember his age, I'm ashamed to admit, but he's not reached his prime yet, in my opinion. So I think these are the ones that we should really look at and give a bit of a boost. A bit of a boost, not just take anybody from anywhere and just go, but these ones who are in our league have shown that they can do the business. Just needs a bit of behind the scenes facilitation, I feel. Just a bit. Don't open the floodgates. Don't let this become a topic where a lot of netizens around in Singapore who don't watch local football can use to hammer the government with. But just one or two here and there, very exceptional cases.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I stand for as well. I think with players who are good and they show that they are integrated in the culture, why not? Yeah.
I agree. I agree with both of your points. But the problem with that, and it's not really a problem, but the problem with that is it's a very ad hoc policy. By definition, it has to be. It's very hard to have a systematic approach to, well, we'll give it 4 or 5 years, and if that guy seems to be acclimatizing, we'll offer him citizenship. And if that guy... I actually agree with you. I really do. I think that's the way to go. But it's very hard to plan because you don't know which players are going to stay for 3, 4, 5, 6 years.
Like
and
nobody knew
settle.
Durick was the...
Right, exactly. Daniel Bennett was an exceptional case. He came here when he was a toddler because his father was a teacher at UWC. So he was here since childhood. So it was a much easier progression for someone like Bennett. I come back to a key word that Go Cards SG said right at the end. Why not strive to benefit from it? I think that's the key word we're looking at, benefit. None of us are against foreign talent for its own sake. But as long as it's got a clear benefit, a tangible benefit, otherwise then what is the point? You might as well just stick with locals. And everyone keeps using the Malaysia example, right? Two things with that. Firstly, some of these naturalised players are kind of half Malaysian anyway. I mean, Darren Lock is a very good example. He has as we said before, he has a Malaysian Chinese father, I think it is, right? So they're not random recruits. They're half naturalised to begin with. So that's step one. They already have roots in the country. Very, very important. But the second step is, are they really benefiting? Are they making a positive difference? Because Malaysia, there was a huge backlash when they screwed up with the World Cup qualifiers. They were beaten by Vietnam and the UAE. And there was a huge backlash saying, well, what's the point? If we're bringing in these naturalised players and we're not progressing, what is the point? So that's the only point I would make to Go Cards SG. Benefit.
Yeah.
No one is against it as long as it benefits the nation.
I think one thing I'll add is that there have been accusations leveled at the FA over the years for relying on the foreign talent scheme and therefore stopping the other pipelines or not putting enough attention to the other pipelines. And I think, I mean, what I would say to people who criticize the foreign talent scheme based on that is that actually they're not mutually exclusive, right? I'm not saying that if you do this, then you don't have to do that. No, actually, the FA has to do both. Now, the FA is on limited resources compared to our counterparts in the region, in Southeast Asia. So I think also sometimes as fans, we have to manage our expectations a bit. But what I want, and I think everyone would agree with me when I say this, is we want our national team to punch above our weight. Just slightly. We're not asking right now for the team to win the ME Cup, the Mitsubishi Electric Cup. But we need to look like we can fight. And I think that's something that has been lacking. Whether it's down to just a managerial choice or whether it's something else, I don't know. But someone has got to fix it. And I think, you guys had the episode about the town hall. Not the town hall, the conversation. So
Wasn't much conversation.
I mean, there was tons of people writing on like cardboard and everything, and they take it back. So I hope that they are not just using it to put their soup on or everything, but they take a look at what some of these people, their fans, players, ex-players, take a look at what they are saying, and do something with it. I think for a long time it's been top down, but now let's do something bottom up.
I disagree with one thing you said. You said, I think everyone will agree with me. This is a football podcast, my friend. No one is ever going to agree with you entirely. That's never, ever going to happen. But I admire the optimism.
Yeah, just like this next one. Hiroyuki Shinchi. I think we also used your comment last week. No one is saying get rid of long-term nurturing and just relying solely on naturalizing foreign talents. I'm saying do both at the same time. That's what you say.
Yep.
When you have foreign talents mixing with local talents, the heightened competition is beneficial to Singapore too. We do it for table tennis and badminton. No can you? It's tenuous, but but why not don't do for football? Why do we need this short-term measure? You guys said yourself, attention to Singapore football is declining, both due to the more competition for attention and also for the results. So yeah, I think he makes a case for foreign talent, but it's not saying we never used before. I mean, obviously he doesn't remember the times when we used Merkel, Ekma in the early 2000s.
Agu Kashmir,
and
a few other
Itimi
guys.
Dixon.
Yeah, and I mean, I think the good thing about having some of these foreign talent is like, I think people will remember Precious and Mujarai. He's still contributing to the local scene in football. He's still a coach. So, you know, some of these players, it's a hit and miss, of course.
But you don't have to be a citizen to do that. I mean,
you don't.
You know, Kralovic is still, I don't think he's Singaporean, is he?
No.
Mirko Kralovic, he's still contributing.
PR, I think.
He's probably PR, yeah. So I take the point, but you don't necessarily have to be a full-blown citizen to still contribute to the Singapore football soon. For me, it's very simple with foreign talent. One, ideally, there would be some tangible connection to Singapore, like a Darren Lock type connection or a Daniel Bennett type connection. That would be one. And two, both of your points, we must be able to see a tangible improvement, a step up on what we already have. That's all I think that's all any Singaporean would ask for, that any foreign talent coming in has to be slightly better than the kids we already have. My only
the thing is you never know, you see.
But true.
Yeah, I mean you can scout the guy for forever, you know. I think Merkel and Ekma always, you see them in the S League, they're brilliant, but once you translate them to the international stage where the pace is faster, defenders are better. They are aging when they became Singaporeans. That's why they couldn't be. Their speed has obviously slowed down, and that's why they couldn't be as effective for the national team. So it's kind of, you never know this kind of thing. Whatever you see, whatever is scouted, and then you bring it to the international stage, things might change, you know.
Yeah, and you guys might disagree, but my only concern with this is it is typical Singapore outsourcing.
Yeah.
Let's just outsource everything because it's easier. Let's outsource construction. Let's outsource teaching. Let's outsource football now. You know, I just find it so ironic that the very week we're having this conversation, it was just announced that the Singapore Turf Club is closing down, right? Now, I'm not a horse racing fan, but it is a sports facility. It's a sports facility that's closing down to have more housing. Fine, social needs come first. But it's like, okay, so we're already bringing in sand from foreign nations to build our land. Now we're literally using foreign land to raise our footballers before we recruit them here, because we don't have the space, we don't have the facilities, we don't have the resources to produce,
don't have the patience
and nurture these players. We are literally losing another sports facility this week. But we say, it's okay. We'll outsource. We'll bring in the talent. We'll get Malaysia and Indonesia and South America and Africa to use their land to produce and train their players. And the ones that are not good enough for their country, we'll have them. I just find
it's so depressing.
It's very Singaporean, you know, just outsource everything. Just outsource everything. We need time, patience, money, facilities,
and we
space.
Must be willing to see at least a few years of not good results.
Yeah, because you know my fear, guys, if we get one, a guy who's okay, that'll be it then. You know what we're like. It'll be, right, the next 5, 6, 7, 8 players have all got to be like this, and then that'll be, and then it does come back to being a bit of a cop-out.
Yeah.
We don't need pitches. We don't need facilities. We don't need resources. We just get them in from Changi Airport. Not the way to go, guys. Not for me anyway. But let us know what you think. What is the way to go on foreign talent? Send all your comments too.
Yahoo Southeast Asia on YouTube, Yahoo SG, Yahoo_MY on Twitter, and Yahoo SEA on TikTok.
Right. As always, Young Lions. We've got a comment about Young Lions, right?
Well, Akira said, I think FAS the FAS decision to ban any international games for the Young Lions following their SEA Games performance tells us everything we need to know about how much they know about the game. This is a one-way ticket to further regression when you start to look at international competition as a privilege and not a necessity for growth. When this is coming from the man at the very top, what hope do we have? So the context is they are doing a review of the SEA Games debacle, and amid the SEA Games debacle, the Young Lions are not allowed to play in overseas tournaments, international tournaments, and that has led to them pulling out of the AFF. That means the ASEAN Football Federation Under-23 Championships.
But there's a bit of mixed messaging there, actually.
Yeah.
I think they've since come out to clarify Bernard Tan's statement to say that actually the plan was always to skip this tournament.
Oh.
And apparently they haven't taken part in the previous edition as well. And why are they skipping it? It's because of the packed calendar. I can buy that. But then I think that begs the question of what Bernard Tan's statement was about as well. So it was a very strange statement, and I can appreciate that Bernard is under a lot of pressure. But maybe the FA needs to come up with a bit more consistent messaging, because you are just giving fans ammunition to whack you, and that's not nice in this.
Yeah.
That's not great in this climate where everyone is already very pissed off. Yeah.
Well, I mean, very simple for me. Call me naive, but if you've got a chance to play in a football tournament, you take it. If you're a developmental squad in any country, in any age, anywhere in the world, you play. Unless I'm missing something, guys. I don't know. I don't know what
the
I'm
Young
missing
Lions
here.
are doing badly in the Premier League. Also,
Any opportunity to play decent opposition. I don't get this one. If I'm wrong, tell me. I don't get it.
I think the difference between us and countries like Thailand, Indonesia and all that is that they have actually really focused on their youth pipeline.
Correct.
And so what happened, right, is that now they have multiple squads and multiple options that they can send without getting embarrassed.
Exactly.
But unfortunately, Singapore, if you take away the Young Lions, who are already on the back of some poor results, if you don't use those guys because of load and because they have to play the domestic fixtures, then you're now looking at the second level beyond that, and then those scorelines are not going to be very nice as well.
Good point.
True.
So
Depressing, but good point.
in a sense, it may make sense for us not to enter these tournaments. And if the decision was already made prior to the SEA Games, then all the better, but just communicate it better.
I've got an even better idea then.
Yeah.
Never enter any competition. Because if we never enter any competition, we
We
can't
won't lose.
ever be embarrassed. We can't. I mean, how far do we take this? I don't understand. I mean,
In a related point to football, futsal, right? The 5v5 equivalent on hard court. I think Singapore has not sent a team for ages, and I don't quite get that as well. There's a lot of futsal talent. Sure, we'll lose to Thailand for sure, but why are we not sending a team? I never could understand that as well.
It comes back to your point, what you said just now, and both of you, about foreign talent, that ideally a foreign talent coming in will supplement the existing core of the team, right? I feel, we've said this before, I feel that the Young Lions' future has to be in other clubs, meaning you disband the Young Lions, you put each of them into the other remaining Singapore Premier League clubs, and they are nurtured with the current crop of existing senior pros, foreign players at the other clubs. And then with the Young Lions out of the league, you're replacing the Young Lions with a Sembawang, with a Woodlands, which gives you another potential nurturing club from the north to bring through the next generation of Young Lions. I think we tried the Young Lions experiment. It didn't quite work. Maybe at some point we do have to return to the drawing board and say, it didn't work.
Yeah.
And we need
we have
to
been saying for
put them in the other clubs.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I mean,
It's not working, is it? Let's be blunt. It's not working.
It's not working, but at the same time, we all wish for another club to come in. But I'm also thinking who is going to come in to revitalize Sembawang Rangers or Woodlands Wellington? If no investors come in, then it's a tough one.
No, I agree. I agree with that.
I think
the investment is a
potential
serious concern.
corporates out there just have to think really out of the box as to what they can do. I mean, take examples from all over the world, right? There was the recent TikTok soccer tournament, $1 million, 20-minute halves, very interesting format where, if the score is 2-1 at the end of the game, you still have to go to 3 goals to win. So it's a target score to reach. All these may sound very gimmicky, but, I think Singapore football is at a stage where we have to try the gimmicks, actually. There's nothing wrong with experimenting. There's nothing wrong with corporates coming in with fancy ideas. If someone wants to come in and take over, say, Tanjong Pagar United and turn them into like TikTok Central or something. Not the name of the club, of course, but just tons of TikTok content, everything. And, there's like,
developing a squint.
Like a GoPro with the footballer throughout his training. I mean, you have to move with the times, man. I think you got to do it.
And
you got to do it.
Cheerleaders and fireworks and dogs jumping through hoops ablaze. And where do we stop? Where do we stop? Where do we stop?
No, I mean, if you can't beat them, you join them, man. And I think corporates out there's an opportunity. It's like a clean drawing board now. You can do whatever you want.
I agree. But I could play devil's advocate and say that is also a cop-out, because isn't it the onus on the clubs and the league to sell their product better to corporates? Rather than just add razzmatazz, the job of anyone employed at any club is to say, if you sponsor us, I guarantee we will give you this via social media presence, like the Lion City Sailors and other such clubs. We will not give you dancing cheerleaders and dancing bears.
Yeah, and I mean, we will talk about the J.League experience as well. I mean, that's very interesting.
We'll talk about that. Let's move into that, because you and I have both been to the J.League. I've got my views on it about community engagement. What did you see?
So I think people know that the J.League is a home of very quality football right now, right? And one of the funny criticisms leveled at the J.League is that every team plays the same way, which is quite funny, but also quite true. But it's because the technical quality now is so excellent that every team likes to pass the ball around at the back before going down the wing slowly and coming back into the middle. Yeah. Okay, but what I observed
that's a top-down coaching philosophy though, isn't it?
Yes.
That's part of the coaching pyramid that is deeply entrenched in Japan.
It is. But what I'm going to give you is something that a bit more personal and a bit of my views when I went to the stadium. So I think we all know that, J.League fans can be very passionate. They chant for 90 minutes non-stop. There was an incident, or rather a very heartwarming incident in Buriram when I was one of the few LCS fans who went to watch the Champions League game last year, and they actually stopped chanting when I started a chant, which was very sportsmanlike, because they knew like that guy is like one man chanting. Like, let him finish his chant. So
West Ham do that as well.
Very sportsmanlike, and before the J.League match started, right, they actually applauded the away fans who took a 13-hour train journey, a car journey to come to watch the game for a Wednesday night League Cup match in Japan. I mean, levels, right? Okay. But what I observed was that actually there are a lot of similarities, and this might shock people. There are a lot of similarities to our local league, and this is why. Sagan Tosu was a team I visited and watched. If you look at all the players on their Instagram profiles, right, they have about 2,000 followers, 3,000 followers. These are not superstars. They're much better footballers, for sure, but they are not superstars. And yet, right, I think what the club has done very well is to infuse the spirit of the community very, very well. So, I mean, I speak very little Japanese, but when I went to buy a jersey, they gave me this coupon that said fan service in Japanese. So I had to ask someone what it was and everything. And they said, because you bought a jersey, 1 hour before kickoff, a first team member who's not playing tonight will come and take a photo with you and speak with you and sign your shirt.
Brilliant.
Nice.
And I thought like, hey, that's actually something that doesn't cost the club anything.
Correct. Simple.
Right? But you might just get a lifelong fan out of that guy.
Absolutely.
If I'm like an 8-year-old and I'm like, oh, cool, this guy, he just scored a hat-trick last week. Now he's injured, but he's signing my shirt and everything. So this is something that I feel like, these guys are not that different. 3,000 followers on Instagram. That's about, I took a look at the LCS lineup. Some of the players have 20,000 followers. Some have 5,000, 1,000 even. If the club, Sagan Tosu, can make the players do that, why can't we make the players do that?
I saw it when I went to that J-League 2 club over there. 100% agree. Which slightly contradicts what you said earlier, because really it is just about the product, isn't it? We just have to sell our own product better to the fans and the community.
So, I mean, don't think of it as a quick fix. Of course, LCS or every other club still has to work on the football, right? But while the football is slowly building up, can Tampines make Tampines fans more connected? Right? They've already done a good job with that, with the stadium acoustics, not acoustics, but the choice of music, choice of imagery to play during games and all that. But can we go a step further? Can we acknowledge that we are the underdogs of the local sporting scene? And can we do more and go like, we value you as fans. This is what we're going to do for you.
I agree.
Wonderful.
Yeah. I agree. We've got to learn from the J-League.
Sometimes you really have to go overseas and watch a match, and then you get your inspiration.
But what J-League doesn't have it doesn't have Cristiano Ronaldo playing paddle with its politicians.
Hey, only in Singapore.
Only in Singapore. You want to
boy.
know what a Singapore football culture is? It is Cristiano Ronaldo not playing football, but playing a made-up sport, effectively, paddle, with our politicians. If that doesn't make you proud to be Singaporean, I don't know what does. What did you think of it?
I don't think it's about football anymore.
Well, we know that.
Cristiano Ronaldo comes from Singapore, it's about celebrity, it's about idolatry.
Yeah.
It's fans who wear Manchester United jerseys when, you know, he's the way he left Manchester United was in acrimonious
The
circumstances.
relationship is broken.
Broken
You wouldn't even see Cristiano Ronaldo in Man United church in Manchester.
And you still wear the jersey, Manchester United jersey, to go to an event where you were made to wait for 3.5 hours for him to come. And in the end, you only see a small bit of him in the distance, sometimes through a fence.
Yeah.
When he was playing paddleball, he was fenced up, and the fans were outside. And that's all you get to see him. And then you still get, you still say in the end, oh, I saw Cristiano Ronaldo. Yeah, this little bit of him.
But also, you know, it's great. You go out and support him, fine. But I saw people in the photographs and the videos holding up the Man U jerseys with pens, expecting him to sign the jersey of the club that fired him. I've been fired from jobs before. I ain't giving them autographs. You know? It's like, but hey, I don't know.
It's just, I don't think it is. I mean, he is a celebrity now. He's hard. I mean, I would say he's hardly relevant as a footballer.
Yeah. But it's true. But it says
true.
where we are, because I wrote the piece for Yahoo, which you can read on all Yahoo platforms. That same night, we had a Singapore Premier League game happening. Hougang played, right? Our old friend Gabriel Quack scored. Local boy done good. That's a football event.
Yeah.
Cristiano Ronaldo playing paddle isn't a football event. I mean, where does it end? Let's get Lionel Messi in the tank at the aquarium at RWS, and we'll all watch Messi swim with the sharks, or we'll get Neymar to the Singapore Zoo and he can have tea with the orangutans. I mean, where does it stop? This celebrity obsession. It's a bit of fun, but it's nothing to do with football.
No, not at all.
But what do you think, folks? Are you happy to see Cristiano Ronaldo playing paddle with politicians in Singapore? Send all of your comments to
Yahoo Southeast Asia on YouTube, Yahoo SG, Yahoo_MY on Twitter, and Yahoo SEA on TikTok.
Thank you very much. And thank you, Eddie, for coming in as always.
Thanks as always, yeah.
Great stuff.
Wonderful comments, wonderful opinions.
Yeah, and get yourself down to a Singapore Premier League game, and if you see Eddie, say nice things to him.
Yeah, he's always there at the Lion City Sailors game, you know.
So say hello, and we will see you again very, very soon next week when we wrap up the season. Take care, stay safe.